Welcome back to the We Was Watching podcast. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm your other host, Chanel.
And we are back to talk about the season finale of Gen V, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
A week late, but not too late. But before we get into the recap, if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can leave us a review. If it's 5 stars, we'll read it on the show. You can also watch us on YouTube at youtube.com/@WeWasWatching, or just search for the We Was Watching podcast. Subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and hit the notification bell so you can see us go live. You can also email the show at wewaswatchingpodcasts@gmail.com. And you can follow us on social media anywhere on all the socials at We Was Watching. But before we get into Gen V, we're going to talk about what we've been on.
Don't watch me, don't watch TV.
So Chanel,
I didn't hear the sound, just so you know.
What do you mean you didn't hear the sound?
I didn't hear the sound. I saw the video, but I didn't hear the sound.
That's right. I didn't switch it over.
Okay.
Cool. I just switched it. So I caught up on my comic books. This is kind of relevant, though. I think you're going to really like this. And there's this book called One World Under Doom. And it's essentially that Dr. Doom became the leader of the entire world. And all the superheroes are kind of mad and kind of stopping him. But he's like doing a bunch of good things for people. He like ended wars. He gave out universal health care. He cut like all these different things out, got rid of guns, like made like all these like bigoted things, like went to all the countries that had like bigoted rules and made the stuff legal. They did all these good things that people really like. And the heroes think he's up to something. And they're like, what the fuck is he up to? Like, why would he do all this shit? And so every time something happens, they try to prove him wrong, and they end up looking stupid at the end to the general public because it almost looks like Doom is doing the right thing. So then they have this in one of the recent issues. They have like this debate on TV, and Doom is like, if you can prove me wrong or show that like I'm not who I say I am or I'm doing the wrong thing, I'll step down. And I'll sit down. So it's him and Reed Richards. And so they have this debate and they're talking, it's on TV, they're talking and talking. And then they get to this section. I'm going to read you this section because this was so fucking cool. So they say, so Reed says to Doom, you've just repeated, Emperor, the remarkable claim that nobody can rule this world but you. But what evidence do you have to support that? For centuries before you, humanity has worked together. And so he says, the evidence is around you. The evidence is the world I inherited. Listen to what he says. I think you're going to like this. He calls out the heroes. Tony Stark arc reactor technology could have given the world energy, clean, safe, and boundless. Instead, he encases it deep within a weapon he wraps around himself, ensuring he is the only one who may wield it. Hank Pym could have ended hunger in a week, in an afternoon. Yet your friend chose only to enlarge himself and not food and resources around that could help people. The Black Panther hoards his nation's wondrous gifts, insisting all beyond his jealousy-guarded borders are unready for this bounty. Storm could have consigned droughts, floods, and heat waves to history, yet she chose not to. Instead, she helped terraform Mars and kept that world for herself, which she actually did do that. Your Avengers, of which she is now a member, float above us all in a private space station, while the rest of us on Earth crawl and beg. And your mutant associates cured death, yet they never shared the cure. It was and remains an incalculable act of hate. These petty beings of endless avarice, Richards calls them allies, he calls them friends, and had they been permitted to ruin our world, they would have then simply voyaged into a sea of parallel universes, leaving us to clean up the mess, because unlike them, we have no chance to escape. He read the superheroes on national TV for filth, calling them petty, selfish, hoarding stuff, using technology for their own selfish benefit instead of the greater good, and hiding it in the mask while they were doing it. Meanwhile, Doom does what he does for the people. What you think about that?
Yeah, he's not wrong. Speaking of RDJ, I think when he does that, when he mentions Tony Stark, he's gonna look into the camera for sure. But with that said, like, I mean, yeah, Elon could have ended hunger, but he doesn't want to. He wants to Neuralink all of us and have a police state. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I should stop saying stuff like that. Maybe that's why we don't come up in the search early.
Yeah, probably is.
Yeah, I like, all jokes aside.
He also said, and you, Mr. Fantastic, I forgot this part, and you, Mr. Fantastic, the smartest man in the world, after Doom, of course. And what do you do with your intellect? You share nothing. You publish nothing. You invent wonders and hoard them within the smallest group of all, your own family. You, Richards, you are the greatest disappointment of all. Do not speak to me of history. I have studied it, understanding it as only those who have suffered under great men can. You gained your power under the world as it was, and thus have tremendous self-interest in keeping it exactly the same. Only Doom, vilified and attacked by you and your allies, could change things because only Doom had nothing to lose. You would never permit him to gain it. Your greed, your thundering hubris, ensured that only Doom could save the world. You created the one thing that could finally defeat you. Look at that. Look at that. Look at you. Now you're a Dr. Doom fan. Look at you.
Well, I'm an RDJ fan I'm a stan, but it's funny. It's like you're reading the less popular parts of the Bible, like the part that are actually deep, and people are like, "Oh, okay." Like that's how I feel. Like, "Oh, okay, I didn't know about Canaan." But I would say
comic books are deep.
Thank you for sharing. So RDJ is all I can think about when you talk about Dr. Doom, because it's not really real to me, because I don't really know that much about it besides that it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. And funnily enough, a little while ago I was scrolling and I saw a video of him in character on the set, like during the filming of Tropic Thunder, and he was still Kirk Lazarus, like they were in the hotel, and he was talking about how his people built the pyramids.
That's one of the greatest movies of all time.
But all time, and I think about shout out to West Bloomfield's one of West Bloomfield's other famous alum, Brandon T. Jackson, along with me and a couple other people. Other people did some stuff, I guess, but no, he was like in character, and it was hilarious, and it's just so funny because people were saying like, y'all know Robert Downey Jr. wear white face, right? Like, like he's really one of us, and somebody posted under it like, how funny would it be if this movie never made it to screens and this video just got released like right now? Like it was like Robert Downey Jr. exposed for blackface. Like think about that.
That happens, right? There's a bunch of stupid people on social media that was doing that for years. No, they were just like, how do y'all like Robert Downey Jr.? Yeah. Why is he allowed to be Iron Man? He did a movie in blackface.
Yeah, it was out of context for sure. But I'm saying, like, imagine if
it wasn't out of context. All, like, they didn't get it.
No, I'm saying they were seeing it out of context. So they did. I think if you haven't seen the movie and you're seeing it, anytime you see blackface, you're like, what's going on? But the movie contextualizes it in such a funny way that is the one time blackface is okay.
That was the point of the movie.
I know, I agree, but I'm telling you, what if Tropic Thunder never made it to air? What if we did not know and all we saw was him walk around in that? That would be harder for him to explain because we wouldn't have the script.
If he was around the people on the cast, I would assume I would look at it and be like, oh, this must be like some type of gimmick they're doing.
Yeah, no, the scenario was
if he's just around random white people acting like that, then I'd be like, yo, what the hell is happening here?
The scenario is more like we don't know about this, and then in the middle of the Avengers press run, it comes out. Like that was a funny scenario where you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? So anyway, thank God Tropic Thunder got the funding and the exposure and the release. What's it called? Distribution it needed to get to our screens.
What I'm saying to you, Chanel, is
you would still give him a chance, which is not true.
What I'm saying to you is, despite everything you said, whenever clips go viral of Tropic Thunder on social media,
still don't understand it.
People still don't understand after all of that. They still don't get it.
And what I'm saying to you is that there's always at least some black people though in that comment like, you don't get it. Blah, blah, blah. Like somebody gets it. It exists. Yes. Someone gets it. Imagine if no one got it, how much funnier it would be, because I would be offended. And I would have, because I wouldn't like, because think about the work I'd have to do to go read the script of a movie that never got made where Robert Downey Jr. has blackface and I'm supposed to believe this is okay. Like that's what I'm thinking
I
about. Like,
see.
and
That
then
is funny.
there's only like 25 people who've read the script in the earth, and they're like commenting whenever they can, like, guys, no, there's a script, and it just didn't make it. Like, it just would be so much less funny, but also so much funnier if that was the scenario. So anyway, shout out to him. We've definitely adopted him.
I don't know why
especially
you
after
turned my
Ironheart.
Doctor Doom thing into a Robert Downey Jr. conversation. I was
'Cause I
trying to
don't know
prove
anything
to the
about Dr. Doom but what
listeners.
you've said on this podcast.
I was trying to
You keep
prove to
saying
the
he's so cool,
listeners.
so strong. I never met the guy.
I was trying to prove to the listeners that Chanel would vote for Doctor Doom. That's what I was reading that for.
Would I vote for Dr. Doom? I like to think I'd vote for the woman. So, and it wouldn't be Sue Richards. So whoever else, I'd be third party on that one. I'd be Green Party. I'd be independent.
Well, he didn't technically. He didn't have a vote. What he did was he got all the world leaders to basically give up their power to him, and so the heroes thought that he was like using magic or like brainwashing them or blackmailing them, holding their family or something
Just
like
using
that.
the art of the deal, baby.
Yeah, that's basically what he did. But we later found out that he essentially was enslaving his people to get use their life energy. But he claims that his people volunteered to do it because they loved.
But I was that you meant more of like a Dr. Doom running against Reed Richards, and who would I vote for? I assume that's what you meant.
No, Doom was in charge, and Reed was trying to prove to the world that he's a fraud. So they had.
I know, that's what I'm saying. So the scenario I assume you're making up is a two-party system of Reed versus Doom. Who would I vote for? That's what I thought you were saying, and I'm like, I'd vote third party. Now, if it's Doom or enslavement, lock
Doom
me
was,
up.
But then what? Guess what happened? So they found out what Doom did, and guess what he did? Start calling everything fake news, going after everyone, sending the army in on his people. Then they had clips of people saying that's not true what Doom did. I don't believe you, and had his own media outlet. All of it. This all happened in the
late
books.
30s and early 40s. This other guy did it too, and he wrote a whole book in his language about it. I don't know if you've heard of it. Well, actually, I don't know if you. It's a book. I know you've read it a couple times. Like you found some chestnuts in there. I haven't read it, but Brandon has read that book I'm referring to that was written by a guy in the 30s.
Yeah, I read a lot of books.
He read it, and there were chestnuts in there. Does that ring a bell ever for you? That joke?
Do you know how many books were written in the 30s and 40s? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I said that sounds like the book that guy wrote in the late 30s, early 40s in another language, and it was kind of controversial. And then I was thinking about in Succession when Tom's talking to the guy, like he's like, "How many times you read Mein Kampf?" And he's like, "A couple times." He's like, "A couple times." What were there chestnuts in there you missed the first time? Those are the key words. I was trying not to say Mein Kampf. I was trying to avoid actually mentioning the book. And then you go, "Yeah, I read a lot of books."
I read them books.
It was a Nazi reference. It was a Jewish doctor. But okay, so then going back to your quote that you actually said, the only thing I would say is Black Panther's not wrong, because Black Panther in historical context should have kept Wakanda private. Like that's the one group that doesn't need to. We've already shared our resources with you. Them and the native indigenous people of this land, them too, once they discover gold, they need to go ahead and keep it in their community, because it's already been proven that if when John Smith hits the shores and you go, "Hey, would you like some?" John Smith's going to take all of that and your arm with it. So I'm not mad at the Wakandans or the native indigenous people if they want to hoard their resources. Do what you got to do. Everybody else, okay, that's crazy. But Wakandans specifically, like there's a point to that.
Wakanda
there's a point to that.
There's no point to that. They could be in charge of the whole world.
But that's,
who's going to stop them?
What I'm saying. But that's the problem. You want them now to play by this like imperialist game that the point is any society.
They are imperialists. They don't have a democracy.
No, that's imperialism. I think is more about other countries. But like the point I'm trying to make is this: if in the history of Africa, which I think is the whole point of Wakanda's story, if they have been plundered by people they would have shared the resources with in good faith, then I'm not mad about them hoarding
Except
resources
Wakanda was
for
never
themselves.
plundered. They had these. They actually talk about this in the books. They talk
yeah, but
about
it's in
why.
the context,
No,
like
they
it
talk
exists
about
in this world.
yes, but they also talk about when the rest of the world was coming into Wakanda and they had all this technology and stuff that could have stopped the Europeans from coming into the rest of Africa and taking it over. They ain't do shit to help the rest of Africa either. They kept themselves hidden from everyone, including the rest of the people on their continent.
Yeah, but I think then because then the question is, do you hide all of if okay? A better example is there's like, I think this could be wrong, but there's like islands in Australia, New Zealand area where like there's indigenous islands that have never had a stranger there. I'm not gonna tell them that they need to share and say they all have like whatever they all have immunity to something. I'm not gonna tell them, hey, why can't you share that with us? Because the contamination that we have is already too strong for the purity of society that they have. So Wakanda cannot save the whole continent or the world. I think could they strategically share their resources in a way? Sure, but the problem the part of the problem you're ignoring is that it's not about them giving. It's about the fact that there always exists a group of European descendants who will steal it and take it.
Yeah, people come in there and try to steal shit all the time. Yeah.
Right, people, but I'm talking about like we're talking about like Britain and like
yes,
that
Wakanda's been Wakanda's been invaded by Doom.
Right, so you go,
and then guess what Black Panther did?
You're trying to make it a comic book
instead
thing,
Doom came in and he got some shit, and Black Panther basically said, instead of the rest of the world having access to vibranium, we're going to make all vibranium in the world inert so that no one can have access to it. And then they lost a shitload of their money and shit because they didn't have no vibranium anymore, and that's why he got booted out as king, and Shuri became the queen. That's
right,
part of the reason.
Here's
hold on, before you go, let me give you a better example. Let me give you a better example in the comic books. I think you'll appreciate this. This is my favorite. So the X-Men are like an allegory for marginalized groups. Pick your marginalized group. That's what the X-Men is an allegory for. They've done race, they've done gender, they've done sexual orientation. They've done all that, right? They've done all of it as allegories in history. So a few years ago, they did a news story with my favorite writer, Jonathan Hickman. And they basically had this island, this living island, that all the X-Men went on their own. So they wanted to get away from the world marginalizing them and coming after them and everything. And when they got on this island, they found that the island itself was growing these things that basically could cure almost anything. Cancer, like almost anything. It could cure almost anything. Magic drugs, essentially. And so Professor X gets on, I was about to say on TV, but he basically projects himself to everyone in the world, like mentally. And he gives this long speech about, for so long, my mission was to bring Homo sapiens and Homo superiors together. And I fought so hard, even against my own kind, to try to make it happen. And all I got back was attack and dismissal and basically racism. Y'all just treated me like shit for years and years. And you know what? We're sick of it. And we've moved away and we've discovered our own island and we're happy here. And we've actually discovered a drug that can heal everything in the world. And we'll share it with you as long as you acknowledge us as our own country, basically own country. We have rules that you guys cannot violate. And as long as you follow those rules and do everything exactly we say, we will share it with you in minimal doses. And then throughout this process, they found out how to come back to life. And so they could die and come back to life. And they refuse to share that with the rest of the world. Except some mutants, let's see if this would be you. Some mutants thought this is too fucked up because they started doing imperialistic shit that happens when you start to gain power because they have so much power and wealth for selling these drugs to everyone and making it such a rarity. It's basically like making insulin $500 a capsule. Is what they did with the drugs. So they got super rich. So then some mutants decided to share that technology, but only with sick children around the world. So sick children passed away, they could bring them back without their sickness to the age that they were, so they could live the rest of their life. Do you think that's right? You think they were right on Krakoa, the mutants, to not share all this stuff with the rest of the world after they treated them like shit for decades?
Yeah,
I agree. I just want to see. But see, this is why I try to tell you. You gotta give comics a chance. They're much deeper than you think.
I have no qualms with comic books. I've never ever been up here making fun of you and or comic books, and I've also read Parable of the Sower as a comic book.
Oh, really? That's a comic book?
Yeah.
They made that as a comic book?
Well,
a graphic novel?
I saw it on the library website. But what I'm trying to say here is that I can't follow. I spoil comic books for myself because I'll like look at the pow and the boom first, and then I come back, and it's just it's a disorienting read for me. That's literally all it is.
No, I was
but
just
I'd be like,
oh,
what they doing over there? And then I have to go back through and read it again. But I actually, and I think I told you, I tried to start over in the beginning Avengers, and then I realized it was 12
from like the
million.
60s.
Yeah, and then I realized it was like 12,000 of them boys.
Yeah,
well, one started with Clint with Hawkeye in a diner in his outfit, and that's when it helped me when I was doing my rewatch, and I realized how close Hawkeye and Black Widow are. But with that said, also speaking of that, everything comes back to Marvel. My niece has been watching Mayor of Kingstown, which is set in Michigan, which we didn't realize until partway through, and that's Jeremy Renner's show, and she's like in love with him because he's just kicking ass and taking names, and I knew this is potentially a spoiler, but they're on like the second or third season. When she was watching the pilot and there was a famous actor on there, and I was like, huh. And then there's a scene happened. I was like, oh, he about to die. And she goes, well, why would you say that? And I was like, because I've never seen him on the promo for this show. So I'm like, this is the only way I know he's about to die because he would have been on them flyers with Jeremy Renner. So anyway, it's a good show, decent watch, a little bit dark, and the concept of it, I could be speaking wrong because I've been in and out while she's watching it, but the concept is that they're like the unofficial mayor of this town, him and his brothers, and they are, again, if I'm wrong, somebody tell me, because this is again a ghettoized version of it. They help the gangs in this jail, this prison, and like that rules the economy of the town. They help the prisoners, and they have like an ecosystem with them where they give them things, they let up on them, or they go hard on them, and that controls the drug and other crime economies outside of the prison. And it's like an equilibrium where the police negotiate with the prisoners in a way, but they do that to try to keep Paramount.
Okay.
But they do that to try to help it not get violent. Like they basically are mediating drugs and mediating gangs in the prison, because like it's the white gang, the black gang, the Latino gang, and so they're mediating those three things. Jeremy Renner is the guy, and it's very interesting. And one of my favorite, I never advertise bigger shows, but one of my favorite YouTubers is on the show, and I keep walking by just like, I wonder when he's going to be in it. We'll see. So anyway, that's Jeremy Renner.
That's not season. That's not one season, right?
It's like on 2 or 3. Yeah. And I was seeing a post where people were asking like, who do you think's going to die in Doomsday? And people were in the comments like, yeah, Hawkeye is getting the fuck up out of here. And what do you think? Who do you think's going to die in Doomsday?
I don't think. Well, some people might die, but I think they're setting up to reboot the universe. The problem is, if people on social media don't like Hawkeye, a lot of them are comic book fans, because Hawkeye in the comic books is
kind of an asshole. He's like kind of conservative, right?
Yeah, but Hawkeye in the movies, movies, yeah, he's not really like that character. But he's better now. Hawkeye's better now. But back in the 80s, oh yeah, he was that person. By the way, I wanted to show you this really quick before we move on from so I can be done bothering everybody about comic books. But I wanted to show you that. So Storm recently got her own book, right? Because she's usually, and to be honest, she's better in a group book as the leader of the X-Men. A lot, and in fact, most X-Men aren't really that interesting by themselves. They're better as a team.
Fair enough.
But this time they gave her a black writer and a black artist, and
okay,
and they draw
show
her
me something.
to look really cool looking. This is Storm.
If I could growl, I would growl.
So they draw her like you would expect Storm to look if it was drawn by black people and written by black people. And it's like a really good book. So I just wanted to show you that because they have plenty of black artists and black writers in comic books, but she's fire. They gave Storm a really good black writer, Maria, and it's excellent.
I'm still waiting for. Well, you know what I'm sad about? I'm sad that Killmonger had his one and done in the Black Panther series because we never got a Madam Slay.
What the fuck is Madam Slay?
What?
What are you talking about, Madam Slay? What are you talking about?
You read all these comic books. You don't know who Madam Slay is?
No. Who's Madam Slay?
Don't want you look her up like you be looking everything else up. You be double verifying everything I say. Look her up.
What do you mean look her up? She don't even have a Wikipedia.
She does.
No, she doesn't.
Madame Slay. You gonna tell me I'm making that up?
No, you're not making it up. It's just an obscure character.
Okay.
She's had 3 appearances ever.
Okay, and I would like to see her.
I mean, okay.
That's what I said. Okay, because she's the black female Killmonger.
I guess.
And she commands leopards.
Her first appearance was August 1975. So that was
exactly, and
40 years ago. 50 years ago.
It was encouraging blaxploitation, and my point is she would be a dope character. My point is she's under we digging up Supergirl and Extreme Girl and Amazing Chick, and we can't get a Madam Slay.
I mean, she's an obscure. I mean, there's
You'd
plenty.
Like, there's a girl who she specializes in math, and she's Arabian, and she's going to be in the new Marvel. You be telling me about these girls, like I'm supposed to know who they are.
I'm saying if you want to see more representation, they are much more relevant black women in the comics than someone who's been in 3 comic books since 1975. The Madam
Slay is who I would want to be. That's a character I relate to.
How do you even know anything about her?
Because she's Killmonger's girlfriend.
Yeah, but Killmonger in the comics is like nothing like he was in the book and the movie.
No, you're right. The problem is I'm a movie person who's trying to translate, but the point is the sacred text.
How did you even find out about this person? That's a deep cut.
I can't even tell you.
That's like super deep cut. Madam Slay was a lover and ally of Eric Killmonger. She had the ability to command leopards and was using them to slaughter leopard hunters when she first encountered the Black Panther. The Panther and W'Kabi had come to investigate the killings, and Madam Slay captured the Panther. The Panther escaped and fought her until W'Kabi was able to knock her unconscious. After Killmonger's death, Madam Slay preserved his body with secret herbs.
That's what I'm saying. They erased my girl from history. That's erasure. Erase her.
I guess. Here we go. While Tony Stark visited Wakanda, Madam Slay drugged Rhodey and took him prisoner. Killmonger appeared to have killed the Black Panther and blamed Rhodes and Starks, convincing the Wakandans that he could lead them to vengeance. The Black Panther returned, revealing that he had faked his death using the LMD. Oh, I love LMDs. I can't wait till we get LMDs in the movies. They were already in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Those are called life model decoys. The heroes attacked, and Madam Slay called in Killmonger's troops, but the Black Panther still defeated Killmonger. That's it. That's the last time we saw her.
They just erased her from history. They
Maybe.
just figured, oh, Killmonger can't be distracted by love. Anyway.
I didn't know anything about this character, so I learned something new. Look at you. All right. Do you have anything else besides the Jeremy Renner show before we get into Gen V?
No, I do not think I've been on anything new since we last talked, so we can tell the story.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
All right, so this was the finale. And
I got a message from Antoine the Right Way saying, I listen on Spotify. Y'all not gonna post the episode for Gen V episode 8? And that's when I realized we hadn't recorded it. Because in my mind, we had sat down and recorded a whole episode. Like in my head, and then I texted Brandon, like, did we not do Gen V? I had to remind myself. Because in my head, I think through what I want to say already. So in my mind, we had already done this.
This episode picks up right where, actually, no, we start with a flashback to 1967. And we see the aftermath of the fire that we last saw Godolkin in when he was reaching for the fire extinguisher. And when he's laying on the ground, he grabs some V. And he sees the fire getting bigger and bigger. And so he shoots himself up with the V. But I guess because in Marvel Comics with X-Men, they are born that way, mutants. That's why they're called Homo superiors instead of Homo sapiens. They have an X gene, and the X gene activates usually sometime around puberty or early teens when there's a traumatic event. Like something traumatic happens, they're stuck in the fire, they fall out of a window, they fall off the back of the truck, someone's robbing, something dramatic to varying levels happens, and it triggers their X gene, and that's how they get their powers. So this is kind of cool because he shoots himself up with V in the middle of like fire around him, and you can see that like his skin started to bubble and shit before the fire even got anywhere near him because it was reacting. The V was basically triggered that, and even though it gave him powers, that was kind of the side effects of the V for him. And then the fire came.
I think, yes, I interpret it as that he got burned, but the V saved him, because we find out that he has V1, basically, like literally the first brand, the prime V, and so that's what Homelander took. That's what what's her name, the Nazi girl.
Not Homelander. That's what Stormfront and Soldier Boy took.
Stormfront and so. Thank you, because I was confused. And so Stormfront, as we know, she could get messed up. Like she got mangled at the end. Like it's possible to have damage on the exterior, but it's very hard to die. So anyway, I think I interpret it as he was able to survive the fire because of that. Because I think when we saw him later, he was a burn victim. So that was like he did burn in that fire. He just didn't die. And I think that's how he was able to stay alive. Because quite frankly, that's the only reason why he's able to be alive and why he's still alive later. And then when they put him back, it's like, oh, Marie was able to bring him back to his youth. This is when I realized who this was. So we've seen a whole episode. We didn't see Godolkin. I know what he looked like in theory. I saw him at the end. It did not clock to me until then that this is Ethan Slater. Do you know who Ethan Slater is? Why he's culturally relevant?
No.
Well, I am not even a Wicked girly. I just watched it for the first time like this fall.
Wicked is one of my favorite plays of all time. I saw it on Broadway.
See, I had never watched the play. I had never seen the play. I only watched. I reluctantly sat and watched the movie because I was like, hey, they're gonna be singing, and I was like, okay, it's not bad. But because you know me, I clocked out of musicals after High School Musical. I was like, they can't do better than this.
Wicked's better than
that. I'm just telling you. I personally was like, okay, we've reached the pinnacle. For me as a high schooler, I don't see what could be more relevant to my life than High School Musical. So therefore, what are we doing? No, I'm kidding. I'm kind of skeptical about musicals. Like whenever I go to a musical, I'm like, oh, this is fun. But I'm always like, I don't want to go to musicals until I get there.
They did a musical episode of The Flash on CW that crossed over with Supergirl. And the whole episode, they're singing because Grant Gustin and Melissa can sing. So Supergirl and The Flash, they're singing the whole episode of a superhero show to CW. It's so cringe, but it's amazing.
You know what's so funny? I want to talk about cringe. I've done musical improv before.
What the hell is musical improv?
It's when you sing everything.
So freestyling?
Yeah, but we weren't rapping. I was singing. And it was real bad. It's on the camera somewhere. Okay, so anyway, he's Bach. He plays Bach, the one who's in love with Ariana. He plays. You just said you know Wicked.
Oh, I thought you were saying that was his name. Is Bach?
No, he plays Bach, the one who's in love with Dorothy. Not Dorothy. What's the girl's name? Glenda. The one who's like obsessed with Glenda and can't get with her in the movie. Yes. But he is, what you don't know is that Ariana Grande was married to some dude before she started filming Wicked. And Ethan Slater was married to some women before they started filming Wicked. And by the end of Wicked, they had both divorced and they were married to each other. So Bach, who's in love with Glenda, in real life, like in the movie, that actor is now with the actress who plays Glenda. And they left their partners for each other in the middle of filming Wicked.
That's real love. Mary J would be proud.
I need to write down the phrases to trigger for AI to clip this, because what do you mean?
It's real love. Oh, before we keep moving, I forgot there was one more thing what we've been on. So they have a new comic book. They've been doing comic books for like shows from when I was a kid, and then like shows from when I was an older kid, but before Chanel was born, because she's very young. But this is from like the 90s. So they have things like Silverhawks and Darkwing Duck and Thundercats and Johnny Quest and Space Ghost. But those were way before I was born, those last two. But they brought back
Coast to Coast.
A comic book. Of course you would go to Space Ghost Coast to Coast and not Space Ghost. But they brought back a comic book for Captain Planet. Okay. But they're doing it in modern times, like how Captain Planet would be.
We today. Are fucked. Captain Planet is smoking cigarettes at this. He's vaping at this point.
But I gotta show you what Captain Planet looks like. This is I meant to show you this from what we've been on, because I thought you would get a kick out of this. This is what the modern version of Captain Planet looks like. You ready?
Zaddy alert!
Oh, come on! That is not a Zaddy. Look at his beard.
He's green. Like what? I'm not gonna judge a man because of the color of his skin.
They gave him a green beard,
because it's eco-friendly.
That's Captain Planet. So I meant to show that earlier. So
I mean, don't Captain Planet have green hair? Or what do you got? Black hair and a blue
he's
body?
got green hair. But he ain't had no beard.
I'm saying original. Oh, the beard that got you. You don't like that he looked like they framed him after your facial feature.
Yes. Unless they were going to bring in,
That's
what's his
hilarious.
face to play him, like he did before. What's the dude that plays Don Cheadle?
You think Don Cheadle should be Captain Planet? I think
you don't know about Don Cheadle. No, he was Captain Planet.
And what?
You don't know about this?
It's somewhere in the back of my brain, but I'm not able to tell you what the fuck you're talking about. It's there. When you show me, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah.
Don Cheadle
was Captain Planet in what movie?
No, not a movie. It was a TV show.
Oh, that's back in the day. Damn, Don Cheadle really is old.
What was it called? I forget what it was called. No, it's not that. No, it's not that far back in the day.
He's been famous for, but Don Cheadle's so famous that I forget that he was on TV. I just think he's a movie star. That's how famous he is. Like I forgot about Hops of Lies and all that stuff he used to do. Now he's just Don Cheadle. But
you know
Marvel
they're bringing
really does like put you.
You know they're bringing back another Ocean's movie. Did you see that?
Yeah, I'm looking for, I mean, they need to because it's real life ocean shit's happening in Paris. No, let me tell you what they're bringing back that nobody asked for.
What?
Air Bud.
Where'd you see that?
I swear to God, I saw it. No, not even dogs asked for that. PETA absolutely said, please don't.
Look at this. You haven't seen this before?
Yes, destroy all the trees.
Oh, this is a dad.
They're going to destroy the forest. We have to do something. Let our powers combine. Earth, fire, hide! With your powers combined, I am Captain Planet! Go Planet! Well, Planeteers, what seems to be the problem? They're cutting down the trees. Then I guess we'll have to plant some more. Attaboy, Captain. Let's spruce this place up a bit, huh? Okay! Haha.
You don't know about that?
Okay, wait. Two things. One, this is a Funny or Die YouTube clip, and Brandon just gaslit me to try to tell me this was on ABC, and I missed it. Secondly, I forgot to tell you, people say our clips are too loud, like they blow their ears out. We are so sorry, podcast people, if he just triggered a sound wave with that audio. But this is the Funny or Die. I know that black guy from something else. He's like an internet guy.
An internet guy.
I'm so mad that he's way more famous than us, but I'm just so mad that you just told me that as if I was supposed to, as if he was on a TV show and I missed it.
You missed it.
He looking like he worked for Willy Wonka.
He does look like that. Very much.
If Willy
An Oompa
Willy
Loompa.
Wonka was employing watchmen.
An Oompa Loompa.
He looks like the.
No, he doesn't look
looks
like Dr.
Ozzy
Manhattan. No.
He the blue, no, it's the same blue sheen. It looks like a bad Dr. Manhattan in a Willy Wonka. Like if Dr. Manhattan was still doing his rotations, he's still in med school and he's doing his rotations at the Willy Wonka factory. And that's how you start a musical improv. That would be an amazing premise for an improv scene. Wow, I miss improv.
We cut to present day with Cipher. Well, Doug. And he's spitting up blood. He's sick.
He coughing on Polarity's rug.
No, Magnegro.
So, Magnegro's rug, but also Polarity, because everyone hasn't listened to every episode we've done. But so yeah, he throws. If
you can't figure out who we're talking about, if we say Magnegro, then I don't know why you listen to our show.
What about the people who only listen because they enjoy us and they don't even watch the show? Have you ever thought about that?
If I said the word Magnegro, and we're talking about the context of superheroes, I think everyone could put two and two together.
But if somebody's going and they're like, tell us how you watch the show.
If I call somebody, okay, let's say we weren't talking about, let's say nobody's watching the show, and I called the character Black Man.
I would think his power is around something making everything the color black.
No, what?
I swear to God, I would. I would be like, because he's Black Man, and people name people after their power or after what they're into. He's not. Did you call him? If you said Shaft, I'd be like, oh, Shaft. But like, not you said Black Man. So I bet, oh, something regarding the color black. I'm surely you don't mean African American man.
Yeah, Black Batman.
That's different. Anyway,
Black Man.
So he throws up. My point is that because Polarity Magnegro is black, he's mad about his rug. He's mad about that rug because he spent money. That's a nice house. That man has money. He's like, wow, I'm gonna have to get this whole rug taken up now. But it's cool. It's like the whole carpet gotta go.
Doug tells him that they're trying to figure out why the hell he looks so young. And Doug's like, because he took version 1 of V. So like Stormfront and Soldier Boy, so he don't age.
And he's been controlling Doug for 30 plus years.
Magnegro tells Marie to come heal Doug because he's fucked up. And Marie comes over, but she looks unsure. And she tries to heal him. She can't do it. And Doug's like, thank you so much, Marie, for trying. Like, I appreciate it. He's like so pleasant.
Because he's like, honestly, because can you imagine you've been this has been the person you thought is your mortal enemy for like the whole school year, and you find out he's not, and then you immediately turn around and accept that and try to heal him. I'd be grateful too. I'd be like, I literally would have killed you had he made me. So I'm so grateful that you're here, that I'm here with y'all. He's just, because I think in that point he never expected to be free. The man had been being controlled for 30 years.
He describes what happened the first time Godolkin jumped in his head, and Jordan was like, "Oh yeah, I know what that's like. I know what that's like."
Yeah, valid.
So Annabeth was like, "If he could do all that shit, why he ain't just control Marie?" And Doug was like, "Cause she's too powerful." And Marie was like, "Can you stop that bullshit about how powerful I am? And he was like, nah, he tried many times when y'all was at Elmira, but Odessa put you on a different level. He wasn't lying about that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. So this is the only thing. You know how we talked about Black writers and like writing for Storm. When I rewatched this episode, it became way more clear to me that there are not Black writers on this show.
Why?
Respectfully. Because her dialogue is very much not written. It doesn't embrace the duality of how Black women speak.
Oh, so Black women are a monolith? They got to sound a certain way to you?
I said duality, which is my point. They're making her seem like she's talking one way or another when Black women can go in between. Like they can, as somebody who grew up going to institutions where I was one of the few Black women, I think her dialogue is not blended enough for me personally, in my personal opinion, and that's okay. Okay.
Y'all hear what she's saying now? If you Black, you gotta sound a certain way.
You don't get to tell me Storm. Yeah, I'm saying that like there's a duality in it that I'm not hearing, because if you listen to how she talks, here's my point. It's like when people were watching season 2 of The Bear, or season 2 or 3, and Ayo. I'm about to mess up everybody's name. It's Ayo, right?
That's surprising.
Is it Ayo? Because I'm thinking of another person I know whose name is Ayo, and they're Ayo. Anyway, her character yells at Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend is her dad, and she like cusses him out. And people are like, this character was not meant to be Black. This character was meant to be just a random character, and then they made them Black, because there's no way that girl is talking to her dad like that. But it's like, so I think sometimes people are like,
yeah, but that's such a weird thing, because Black people talk to their parents like that. That's like a stereotype.
Not the way she was in the. I think that it's not.
It is.
No, there's cultural norms. There's cultural norms, and so I think that what you're talking about something different. You're talking about like out and about in nature, you'll see this. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can tell when a character was written to be like, the cast would have been all white if it could have been, and then they threw people in, but they didn't change the dialogue to make it seem more different. And like Black culture does actually mold you to the point where my point is that I can go to white schools all I want to. There's still a way that I talk that's going to creep out at some point. And the more I was listening to Marie, because I was doing something else. I never said you, I said me. The more I was listening to her today, I was like, okay, I'm not hearing any duality in how her and Annabeth communicate with each other. Like they speak a certain way. And I'm like,
where would she have learned to speak that way?
And she was in the home around other kids of color.
What makes you think she was around a bunch of other kids of color?
We was there. She wasn't the only Black kid in that place.
Yeah, but those Black kids were there when they were kids. Where would they have learned it?
You're assuming a scenario where she's okay. Annabeth was raised by a Black woman.
Yes, Annabeth was
the same thing, and Annabeth was giving me the same vibe. So my point is just that you're arguing a point that you don't need to argue. My point is just that it's not written with enough nuance for me as a Black woman, because she only talked like Emma. When you listen, when you go, you didn't hear it because you were watching it. If you just listen to it, there's a lot of like her dialogue is written like she could be Emma. It's not written, and there's a little bit of nature and nurture in it. Like that's all I'm trying to say.
I agree with you. All I'm saying is there are Black people like that who exist.
I 100% agree, but I don't think that that's what. But you're saying it like, are they reflecting real life? And I'm telling you that it's more like the limitations of a writer when you don't.
I got you.
Because can Black people write white people and you wouldn't know the difference? Yes, but can white people write Black people and you might be like, something about that doesn't feel natural? Yes.
I feel like that's the sign of a good writer.
No, I think it's less that, and I think it's more that Black people get really well immersed in white culture, and white people very rarely, really understand our culture.
That's very true. Well,
that's what I'm saying. Thank you.
If you were talking about if you were talking about how they speak to each other, I would agree. But I also necessarily wouldn't agree, because they sisters, but they're not really sisters.
No, so what I'm saying is like, I'm saying this because culture. Are you
I
saying
get
that
what you're
Marie might have
saying.
had a
I'm saying that it makes sense to me. I agree. I'm saying I agree with you. I think you're right. I was saying it makes sense to me that the character Marie would speak that way, because where would Marie have learned to speak otherwise?
Right. Okay. So
She got taken away from her parents when she was
But she was around kids
11?
and kids have but the idea is like that the internet doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like none of that is very real. So at the very end, there's a moment where she says something to her sister. She makes fun of her, and her sister goes, "Rude." Instead of being like bitch or whatever, like there's so many ways those two black women could have responded to each other that would have felt more grounded in reality based on how black women talk to each other. So that's all I'm saying is like that's all I'm saying. And so, don't confuse the people making.
But I do think that's a slippery slope in how the world is these days. Because if a white person were to write that in that way, there would be people be like, "Oh, you think that's how you think black people sound?"
I said duality, Brandon. I didn't say she needs to change completely. I said there's no blend.
I know.
And there's a blend when we talk. And that's all I'm saying.
No, I agree with you. I'm saying if they did that, there would be pushback to that.
But it's way more nuanced than
you know how I know that? Because there's pushback to Mother's Milk character who does have that duality in the boys.
What pushback are you referring to?
Their pushback to why does he wear them shirts like that? What are they trying to say? Why is he acting like that? I've heard that.
But see, here's the thing though. That's Laz Alonso's choice. That by the way, another Zaddy alert.
Oh god. He's not old enough to. No. He is not old enough for that. No, he's not. No, he is not. He. Oh yeah, maybe he is. Okay, he's 51.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. He's Zaddy.
That's, I guess.
You think Zaddy is granddaddy? Zaddy is 40s and up.
No, I think that's like 60 and up.
No, Zaddy is like Rick Fox. How old is Rick Fox?
Like Ron Isley.
That's I wouldn't even speak of that man. What you don't get is you think, what are you talking about? Who's trying to fuck Ron Isley?
Ron Isley, yeah. Ron Isley, 84. No, you know who I think about? What's my man's name from Ghostbusters?
Oh, Ernie.
Ernie Hudson. Ernie Hudson.
No, that's not a Zaddy. That's not a Zaddy. There's another name for him. That's somebody fine ass grandpa, but that's not a Zaddy. Zaddy is like 40 to 55.
Okay, I feel like that's young.
Like Marlon Wayans is Zaddy. Damon Wayans, he done aged out. He's on the cusp.
So Zaddy and Uncle are the same age?
No, because Uncle for me, because I'm older. So Uncle for me would be Ron Isley. Ron Isley is Uncle.
No, he 84. He ain't Uncle. What you talking about? Uncle's like when you hear people call you when the young people call him Unc, they're not talking about an 84-year-old.
We're talking about something different though, because how they mean Unc, how I mean Unc, and then how I mean Zaddy is there. Anyway, the point to be that yes, the pushback could be real, but what you're thinking of something more noticeable for me. I'm talking about subtlety that I would pick up because I can speak both languages. Okay, so it's like it's literally no different than like if a Spanish speaker who really understood both English slang and Spanish slangs fluently.
That's Zaddy.
Slang. He's too old for Zaddy. He's fine, but he's too old for Zaddy. That's not Zaddy. He's aged out of Zaddy. I'm sorry. He's aged out of Zaddy, but I do think that's a great idea. Fine specimen, but not Zaddy. I need to make a chart for you. 79 is too old for Zaddy. Zaddy is 59. Top.
Did you see what's her name? Cheryl. Her name.
Oh my God, Cheryl Hines in
No,
RFK?
not Cheryl Hines.
I thought we were talking about
what's Shepard? What's her name? With the talk show.
Sherry Shepard.
Sherry Shepard. Did you see Sherry Shepard?
You don't want to cancel Cheryl Hines?
No, I don't want to cancel her. For what?
For being actively married to RFK?
You know how many people are actively married to terrible people?
No, I think anybody married to somebody in that administration needs to be canceled. Shut it down.
Mm-mm.
No Grammys. No. What do you mean? Are you joking? You disagree that anyone who's married to someone who's in that administration
Absolutely.
needs to not be celebrated?
I
Are you
didn't say we
joking?
celebrate it. You didn't say celebrate it. You said cancel.
It needs to be canceled, shut down. Yeah, I don't think they should be getting accolades. Are you joking?
No, because people are complicated. Much more
I
complicated
think
than you
that
think.
but when people talk about Nazi Germany, they don't complicate it much. They look at it very black and white. Nobody is like, oh, but she was on TV. But Greta was on TV. She was a model before him. Nobody cares.
Yeah, they do. Especially back in
No,
that day, they didn't really have no choice. You married to who you was married to.
That. Right. And so the fact that you're making my point for me. So the fact that she's famous on her own right, doesn't have to. She can afford to live in another house and give him his space for 4 years. No, that makes her. But it's because the women are the foot soldiers of it.
People are complicated.
That doesn't mean you can't punish people for their actions and their stance. Don't do that. We are literally
I punish people for their
down.
actions, not their husband's actions.
I think that the thing that you're missing is that if we don't hold white women accountable for their partnerships, they will continue to benefit from these systems the same way they did when they were
but you can't just make it white women, because there's black women married to terrible people. There's Hispanic people married to terrible people.
No, there's not. Not what I'm talking. I didn't say terrible people. I said people linked to this administration who are taking away rights and killing people inadvertently with their actions, indirectly. So we're talking about two different things. I didn't. But you're talking about, but you're saying, I do think that most women should back out of terrible people, but you're missing something, because you're making the argument, you're always making the argument global. And I'm talking about, and specifically what we're dealing with today, which is to say that if your husband is going out there telling people don't take Tylenol because autism is terrible, and also let's roll back whether or not people know that diseased monkeys are breaking out the zoo, and you're telling me we should still watch her and laugh at her on TV and hee hee ha ha. I'm disagreeing.
But that's not her. That's him.
Right, but
we don't know that she agrees with it.
So what I saw today was a post about her saying she's okay with losing friends over him.
That means she loves her husband.
Who?
And that's why I made it global, because what I'm saying is there's people who
with it.
No, you are making it something that is not. What I'm saying to you is people love terrible people. People love terrible people. Right. You're making it something larger because it means something different to you. What I'm saying is in the people's marriage eyes, that's their husband or that's their wife.
Right. Okay. So people love terrible people, and I'm holding women accountable when they love terrible men. That's not okay, and you should not be with him. And I'm going to treat you the same, because you are like and I feel that way across the board. But I think traditionally, you see more women of the global minority, white women, staying with men who would actively vote against their rights, our rights. You see, and you can look at the numbers. You see. Globally, you see white women voting against their own rights and their own advocacy and their own agency. So my point is, that's why I'm talking about them. I'm not talking about women being married to bad people and bad men. I'm talking about like the stats and statistics around who voted for who and what you see. So my point is to say that when you find out someone's a bad person or supports fascism, I think you should cancel them. I think that's the least you can do. I think that economic boycotts make a difference.
I agree. I just am not in the business of
Harley Quinn should be canceled.
Call me problematic, but
sure.
I'm not in the business of holding women accountable for men's actions. But my co-host wants to hold women accountable for men's actions.
Yep. I'm holding her accountable for her public advocacy of her husband. Now, here's what I'm trying to get to you. Here's the point I'm trying to make. I think we are in a time right now where you should, barring being abused or in a subjugated position, you should not support your partner of any gender being a person who is harming people on this scale in this government. And that means that I'm judging you equally because you know what's going on. And if you're at home and you're fighting him and you're telling whatever, the best thing you could do is separate. And that's like saying, don't blame Mrs. Madoff. She should ask questions. I'm sorry. Yes, if she can get it, then Cheryl Hines can get it too.
And I'm saying that's a very slippery slope.
I think because she knows what he's doing, we're not talking about something where, oh, hey, there's no evidence. Now, Trap, going back to a movie that we've argued about, Trap, when she found out about her husband, she was scared. She found a way to tell on him, right? That's a very different thing than your husband is part of the administration.
That's true.
And you refuse to. And all I'm gonna say is if she has the agency and the money to divorce and she is not, I've encouraged my friends.
I never said any of this was right. I just said I'm not in the business of canceling people.
If you love someone, can't let them go.
No, I said I'm not in the business of canceling someone for what their husband did. You cancel people for what they do.
Who say they're moderate on Hinge. So I don't want to hear all this talk.
You cancel people for what they do. If you went on Hinge and somebody was like,
and she is supporting him.
My mama is a moderate. Oh, your mama's a moderate. You still love your mama? You still love your mama?
Guys, for 20 years, I've been married to this man. He's changed. I just want to let you guys know I don't agree with his policies. And so therefore, for right now, we're going to take a separation and we'll check it out later. But if you see me behind if you see me behind Killmonger and I'm like, hey, that's my man. Yeah, hold me accountable when he goes and blows up the village.
Yeah, because people's relationships are personal. She doesn't judge him on what he does. She judges him how he treats her. That's how people do things.
Which is why women of the global minority, white women, tend to be foot soldiers of patriarchy because they fit based on their personal relationship and they do not hold their husband accountable when they have a lot more agency and a lot more say in patriarchy than Black women or any other women do. And that's where we can end it because that's all I'm trying to say.
I agree. But you want to cancel people. I don't cancel people.
I'm at that stage. Yep. I'm at that stage in my life. I'm at that stage in history. Yep.
Unless they do something.
So get her out of here. Get out of here. Call the next one. You know what? You know who I like? That blonde lady from Modern Family. Pull her up there. Use AI. Put her face on everything that Cheryl Hines is on and Curb Your Enthusiasm. Let's keep it moving.
Curb don't even exist no more. I don't even think she got no shows.
That's what I'm talking about. So I'm just saying, like, she's canceled in my head. Next.
See how she is listening.
Human rights are food. The only human rights are food and water and shelter, right? And the problem is that because people won't agree that those are human rights, that's why people are so scared of canceling. Canceling would be fine if you knew everybody would have somewhere to sleep and somewhere to eat, something to eat that night. But because we don't believe that basic human beings deserve food, medicine, water, shelter, all that stuff, that's why we're so afraid of like the trickle down of being wrongfully accused of something you didn't do or being canceled when you shouldn't believe, because the idea is that like, oh, if we make all these white men lose their money, then how can we possibly benefit from this system? That's the wrong approach. I genuinely don't even remember where we were in the recap though. So Cipher, so they're getting Cipher.
I know where we're at.
Vicodin. They find some 6-year-old Vicodin.
You went off on a tangent because you said Marie wasn't using ebonics. And so because Marie and Annabeth weren't speaking
the duality that I expected Black
because women. Marie and Annabeth weren't speaking jive, it was not written
writer
correctly.
The writer's not doing it for me. And if you listen back to it, you might see what I'm saying. Thank you.
When they come back, Marie said, I'm not special jive turkey. I'm just a regular old bitch. And then they kept moving. And then Magnegro said,
like she has this like sad thing throughout the whole episode where she's like, oh, I thought I was special, but I'm not, guys. Let's stick together. It's like, okay, finally.
Magnegro said he gonna take him meaning Doug, to see his friend in White Plains, who's like a medical person, to help him out. So then we go to Godolkin's hotel, and he having a great time, drinking wine, eating chocolate covered strawberry, spaghetti, pizza. It's like a man who just got out of prison.
And by the way, they didn't even have preservatives or GMOs when he was back in the day. So he ain't never tasted stuff like this. This is bleached sugar. This is
Yes.
enriched wheat product. He's enjoying himself.
And then sexy ass Sage is in bed and she's loving him. And he says, "This is living. You know, all them years, it felt like I was inside of a condom. But you know what, Sage? You was right about everything. You was right about Starlight, Alika and Odessa, Polarity, all of it. You planned it all out." And she was like, "I am a genius. You know that, right?" And he was like, Sage was like, "Listen, they got me in this apartment in the tower. It's a nice apartment, though. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice apartment. I got my own space and everything. But, you know, it's a little lonely up there. It'd be nice if I had some company that could come stay with me, you know, make it happen. You know, if you want to. The door's open if you want to." And
Yeah, she like,
Godolkin,
I cleared out a couple drawers. I'm not gonna hold you. So if you want to leave your drawers here, you want to leave you want to leave your head and shoulders. If you want to leave your Axe spray, body spray here,
he looks like it. He looks like he would wear Axe body spray. He looks very much like that. That's a good one right there.
Correct. You're welcome.
He says he's a little taken aback by it, to be honest. This is where he kind of turns on her, in my opinion. And he says, "I've never seen you so vulnerable like this. It's kind of a turnoff." And he kind of jokes, but I think he was telling the truth. I think at that point on, he was like, "Oh, I'm good on Sage." And she was like, no, I mean, you don't have to. It's cool. And he was like, "Of course I'll move in. We'll get a Peloton. I'll come in. We'll have sex on the table in the boardroom and everything." And then Sage seems happy. And she was like, "Look, when we get there, I got to introduce you to Homelander because, you know, we got to take these things careful." And he was like, "All right, that's cool. But I got something else I got to do." And she was like, "What the hell you got to do?" Like, he's like, "Oh, I got one more class to teach." And she was like, "That's not in the fucking plan. Like, what are you talking about?"
Oh my God. Like, she's like, "We've talked through this." And this is when I started wondering, like, we probably won't, it probably doesn't even matter, but like, whatever timeline it was when him and her started talking and making this plan well, I'm sure it was like whatever, but they've clearly plotted something out and they have like a phase 1, phase 2, like it's a whole thing.
And he says, he's got to do it. And he's going to show her that it's worth it. So then we cut to Doug and Magneto riding in the car. And they're basically having a heart-to-heart. And Doug starts to tell him about Andre and how Andre pissed in his coffee. And he was so badass. And he was the greatest hero he's ever seen. You'd be proud of him. And Magnegro's smiling. And as soon as they have this nice warm moment, someone lands on the fucking top of the car, stabs a sword through the top of the car, and stabs Doug right in the fucking chest. Blood goes splurting out. They throw a bomb in the fucking smoke bomb in the car that makes Magneto pull over and get out. And then we see that it's Black Noir. And Black Noir then takes a selfie with Magneto. More on that later. So then we go back to Guide You and Emma, Cate, and Marie in the dorm talking about what they finna do. And Cate asks Marie, what does she want to do? Marie's like, "Look, I'm done with this shit. I don't know what to do. We do whatever we want to do together." She's like, "I bought the bullshit. They told me I was special and I was the one and I was the person that could save everything. And I believe that shit. And I'm not about to do that shit no more." She's like, "I'm just a girl. I'm no more than a girl who cuts themselves." And Emma was like, "Fuck that. That's not true." She was like, "If it wasn't for you all, I'd be around scuffing down pizza." And then she basically says, "We're all
barfing up pizza, then eating it all." Yep.
And she says, "We're all fucked up. But we have each other to help us carry this baggage." And so they all hug, and then Emma jokes, "This is one step to having a threesome." And they was like, "All right, Emma, like okay. That's enough joke for today."
Yeah,
and
but
so,
Emma's really the real MVP this whole season because if so many things wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for Emma, like pushing people, encouraging them to be their best self. Like, think about Magneto would have still been on the couch, hurt, arm in a sling. You know what I'm saying? Just sad, beating his meat. And he's not. He's there. He's active. He's doing his thing. He's a hero.
So Emma goes to the bathroom, and Marie apologizes to Cate. And then she says, "Hold up." And so then she heals Cate. And how Cate's powers are healing, coming back, she starts to be in Marie's mind so she can hear how sorry Marie was. And it was a really emotional moment. It was cool. So then Cate's healed. And meanwhile on campus, everyone gets an alert that Thomas Godolkin is giving a speech on what looks to be TikTok. And he's giving a speech.
Yeah, he sent out a be real. He sent out a be real to everybody. You gotta open them up and a be real. It's like you just send a photo and then the person gotta respond back with a photo as soon as they see it. So they can't like do a filter or make it perfect. You're supposed to just like respond real quick. It like goes out to everybody on your be real, and then the be real like responds.
You have to like send the person who made the video a person.
If I send you if I send you at 10 a.m., I send you a be real. And you open it, you got to send me back a be real by like 10:01 or else it'll expire or some shit like that. So it's basically like a way to be like, what are you really doing? Like, show me a real picture of where you're at, what you're doing. Like, just hurry up and take a fit photo and send it.
What app is that on?
Be real.
Oh, that's the name of the app.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
BEREAL. Yeah.
Oh, I never heard of it. Okay. I'm old, so you gotta forgive me. So he's giving the speech and he's basically like, I'm alive. You've heard a lot of shit about me. Most of that shit not
like,
true.
y'all know me.
But I'm here to find the best soup, the most powerful soups. So all that rankings and shit, throw that shit out the door. We about to make new rankings and everybody on campus can come to my special class. And so Sage sees this shit.
Can you give me a second to get this joke? He says, Godolkin says, y'all know me. I'm still the same OG. Been low key. Hated on by most of these niggas with no cheese and no deals and no cheese. He's like, y'all know me. Y'all know me. I'm that guy. I'm quoting your fave.
I know. I'm proud of you. Dr. Dre deserves that. Even though he was a terrible rapper.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Fair enough.
So then Sage is pissed.
Yeah, because she's
this
like,
is
why
not
are
part
you
of the
doing
plan.
this, boy?
She's like,
and
this is not.
And you know what? Do you know what I thought of when that happened to her?
What?
That's what you get.
See, more racism from Chanel.
You stick to the rivers and lakes that you used to, girl, because they keep playing with you.
That's what she used to.
They keep getting distracted by that greed and that power. You need you. Yeah, maybe that's.
We
true.
have no evidence to know that's not what she used to.
You know what? My question is this:
who the last person she was fucking? The Deep.
Right.
That's what she used to.
But I'm saying, what was she doing in Detroit? It's so funny. Side note: me and my friend were talking about Hinge, and she was like, "I'm so tired of matching with men wearing Cartiers." She was like, "I'm so tired of hood niggas," and that was just the conversation we had. And so, can you imagine? That's what Sister Sage was doing before.
I thought Cartier was jewelry.
Cartier frames. Like, it's like the most popular glasses. Like, they're so it's just like a look. It's a look, that and a fitted cap and like it's a look. It's kind of like how in the West Coast you wear like a chain and a beard and a fitted cap with a white t-shirt. It's similar to that, but the glasses are important.
That's
so anyway,
a Midwest
she was
thing?
just talking about. It's a Detroit thing. I don't know if they do it in Chicago. Okay. And so anyway, she was just like, I'm tired of that. So I just imagine that Sister Sage just been having just bare niggas and buffs, like she's just been doing her thing, and then she comes here and she's just diverging. That's her backstory for me. She was on 8 Mile. She was on the West Side. She was doing her thing, and now she's out here.
That's not a bad backstory, actually. I'd like to see a Sister Sage comic book. No, she could have grew up in Auburn Hills like you, and then she wouldn't have had any
I don't
interaction.
like when you make those jokes. I don't like those jokes.
She wouldn't have had any interaction with the
Cartier
boys.
It's misinformation.
And
they wear DAs in the suburbs too.
Oh, do they? Okay.
No, okay. I mean, it's when they import the people. It's the school choice thing. It's a long story. We can get back to it.
He says. He says whatever she. So then, Sage sees the message. She's pissed. She's like, "This is not how you supposed to like introduce yourself to Homelander. He ain't gonna like this shit." And so Jordan and Sam, they come in the room, and they say, "Did you see this shit?" And they was like, "Nah, we was having a moment. We was having a girls' moment. Like, what are you talking about?"
Yeah.
And they was like, "This Godolkin, he letting everybody come to this class and shit. It's obviously a trap for Marie." And Marie was like, "Look, I don't know what to do, but whatever we about to do, we're gonna do it together." So then,
because they were like, "All right, we gotta me trying to be the hero.
We gotta warn everybody. We gotta tell everybody what's happening." So Marie gets on TikTok to tell the people not to believe him. And I'm like, Marie, this is your best idea? This is stupid. You are number one. So the number one student, Godolkin says, we're getting rid of all the rankings. We're going to let everybody get a chance. And then the person number one gets on TikTok and be like, don't go there.
Don't do it.
What you think they're going to think? That's going to make them go. Exactly, What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
Yeah.
And
I think it was like, I feel like it was just like a callback to that being the way that she got back in. Like social media had been so important in the first arc of this season. Like that was the only thing that mattered, but fair.
So Emma and Sam go to the frat house to try to tell them not to go. And Sam was telling Rufus this shit. And Rufus was like, fuck you. And so Sam was basically like, you know what, Rufus? I hate I'm going to have to do this to you. And I think he's about to whip his ass. And the next thing you know,
put them paws on him.
They wake up like an hour later with dicks drawn on their face.
That's crazy.
Because they got roofied.
Crazy. That is so crazy. They're like, oh, son of a bitch.
So we cut to Godolkin's class. Professor G is giving a speech about what heroes are capable of. And he shits on Rufus for being a sex offender. And then Professor G says they got to earn their spot to be with the gods or die trying. And he says, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start here and I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to press that button. And all y'all got to do is stop me. That's it. You just stop me and you win.
And remember, this is the same arena we've seen Godolkin as Doug put them through over and over. So it's that like red button at the end of the room, but it's impossible to get through it basically.
So then this girl walks up to him and tries to shoot him with fire out her hands and misses. And then he just takes control of all the kids in the class and they start fucking each other up. It's bad. Like
he's actually killing people.
We go back on campus. Marie runs up on Jordan and apologizes to them. Says that I'm sorry, I should have listened. I should have been more honest about how I was feeling and not doing everything on my own.
And this is another example of when Marie was talking. She's like, I know there's no fucking way you will forgive me, but hopefully. I was like,
maybe Marie is what's her name? What is her name? You know who I'm talking about.
I actually don't.
Dion Davenport. That's her name. Maybe that's who Marie is.
That's not who Marie is. Because you know what Dion Davenport don't got?
What?
Locks in her hair.
well, it was the 90s. She might have locks now.
Okay.
They should remake that movie.
You rather rewrite that movie. You rather rewrite the whole cultural smorgasbord than give me.
That's Dion Davenport. No, you do have a point. Okay. I'm just making a counterpoint.
We talking about Stacey Dash, right?
Yeah, and Clueless. That's who she is. She's a Valley girl.
I'm pretty sure they remade Clueless.
What? They remade
Did they
Clueless?
not remake? No, they didn't. They didn't. I'm tripping. That just seems like something that would have been remade if I'm thinking about like property to remake.
Oh shit. They're doing a Clueless sequel series on Peacock.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way they didn't do that shit. There's no
way.
But
it hasn't come out yet.
They're cashing in on everything. Yeah,
it's coming out next year.
They're going to cash in on anything that people ever quote unquote called a hit on Twitter. They're about to recash that in if they can.
Oh, they originally had a Clueless sequel series that was going to be focused on Dion, and then that got cut. That was in 2020. And so then they're bringing this back.
Oh, is it because it's that's curious because I wonder if it's the Stacey Dash of it all or something else. Because Stacey Dash was controversial. But here's why racism is so crazy. Because Black people like that who were pro-Trump before he was the fascist dictator got canceled and their careers were ruined. And now he's like taking over stuff and they don't even get redemption. They just got shunned by their community and they don't even get to come back and be and like enjoy this victory lap with him. That's the crazy part. Omarosa not back in the White House. He said, "Kick rocks, homie. You got me to desensitize the community to my antics. Thank you. Go back to where you belong."
I mean, I feel like she was one of the first ones to be like, "I'm not rolling with this dude."
Who,
way
Omarosa?
Back when, yeah, out of his crew from the from the what is it called, The Apprentice?
No, but I'm saying like no. She went back to try to work in Trump's cabinet and then it didn't work out. And she went
Oh
around
yeah,
and did the
you're right.
circus and was like, no, guys, like
Yeah,
I can't do it. She was like, I am a black woman. I can't do it. And people were like, oh, you shouldn't have let him get so close. Like you tried to change it from the inside,
you're
but
right.
didn't nobody ask you for that. But that's what I'm saying. That's how racist it is that like they don't even want to give her like, you know what? You was right from the beginning. Come on through. We back in power now. Come back. We about to be here 20,000 Rick and Morty a million years. You know, come on and let's do it. No, they're like, hey, stay where you're at. You did your part. See you never.
You're absolutely correct.
Insidious.
Yeah, she was the Office of Public Liaison. Yeah, interesting.
Insidious.
I forgot about that. So then Jordan says, "Look, I forgive you. We good, but we just can't be together. Like that's just not happening. Like, we're gonna end up in the same
like,
place."
Wait. Hold on. I know you was gonna break up with me. What you mean? And then here they come with Marie, and she gotta just wipe her little tear.
What happened to texting? These youngins got to run across campus to talk to each other. That's not how this would work. They would text their ass.
Yeah, but to be fair, they just got a lot going on. It's a little bit, like. I might as well just go through the calf and come tell you myself.
So they come up on there and they're like, we got to do something about this. Marie tells Annabeth to dip because I'm not trying to see you get hurt. And Annabeth was like, look, man, I've been running away from these visions my whole life. Maybe it's time for me to run towards that shit. And then that's when
another time it would have been blacker. When Jordan broke up, it would have been like, I ain't like your ugly ass. No way.
No, that's not black. That's toxic. That's the difference. I see what you're trying to do there.
That's the joke. I'm leaning into it. Okay.
I know.
Like,
we are well aware of your racism.
Wants you anyway. You weren't even, the head wasn't even, the dick wasn't snapping. No way. That's what she should have said.
We well aware of the racism. Everyone listening is.
Okay.
We are aware.
Okay, keep going.
Emma and Sam show up with Porter Boy, and they like, we got an idea. So then they go back to
with Black Hole.
That's a better name, Black Hole.
No, that's his name, Black Hole.
Oh, that's his name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just called him Porter Boy.
I screamed because they said we got an idea. And did you know what the idea was at this moment, or were you just like?
I absolutely knew what the idea was. Yes.
Okay, I kind of had an idea, but it was not until I saw it that I realized how great this show is. This show gave us things we don't deserve as a people. Like we don't deserve something this good.
You would like that scene. After Professor G's class, he was so happy that he could control them all. But you can see his burns starting to come back because he's using his powers too much.
He's pushing. Because as he said, I've only ever done like Cipher and somebody else at the same time. So he's like, I didn't even know if I could do more than two. And at this point, he got them like battling.
And my girl Sage is completely disgusted.
She's like, oh
fed
man,
up with this shit.
But it's really more of a man thing. It's not so much his culture. It's more, well, it might be cultural, but it's more because like he grew up in the 50s. Like he's a toxic man. Like what are we doing? But anyway, she's like, oh, he had to ruin it. He just had to go and ruin it. All he had to do was be bae and just come and we could do part 2 of the plan and we got a whole thing. But he don't want to hear her.
And Sage said, "Why are you doing this shit?" And he's like, "I'm accelerating my own evolution." She's like, but that's not part of the plan. And he's like, look, I got a different plan. I'm finna control Marie. She's like, why you want to do that? Because if I can control one dissipation, I can control the other. And she's like, oh, Homelander.
She's like, but you don't need to. She's like, you don't literally need to. That's not the plan we have worked out.
And Godolkin says, look, man, that motherfucker is weak. Why you think he got losers like Firecracker and the Deep on the 7? He needs people around to make him feel better. He can't tolerate no competition. I'm going to give him that competition. And Sage was like, Homelander is a vital part of phase 2. That's the plan.
She's like, we actually don't want to kill him because if we do that, then we can't. So whatever they want, do you have any idea what their plan might be? Besides total world domination, DD.
No, I don't know what her plan was. Well, no, because they don't even hint at it because Godolkin just goes off the rails as soon as he gets out of As soon as he gets back in the hotel room.
You're not gonna acknowledge my impression?
What impression?
Okay, never mind.
I didn't hear an impression.
That was my best Dexter's Laboratory.
I'm shocked you know about that. You always surprise me.
Are you joking?
Dexter's Laboratory came out in 1995.
Exactly. I'm a special. I was a Cartoon Network, Disney, Nickelodeon kid.
Did they show that on reruns?
I was the Holy Trinity.
I know you weren't watching that in 1995.
Please don't disrespect my culture. I mean, it wasn't on for two seconds.
It was on.
Please don't disrespect my culture. I don't
1995 to 1999. Okay.
I'm trying to tell you, I was a trifecta child. I watched all the.
I apologize.
Like they say like Disney, Nick, and you could tell an adult you could tell what an adult watches as a kid by their personality. Like there's Disney adults, there's Nickelodeon adults, there's Cartoon Network adults, and I was all three. That's why you don't know what you're gonna get from me.
I apologize.
I was all over the diaspora.
I apologize.
No, I'm not even talking about that now. I'm just saying like this is me. You were more of like you don't even give PBS. You give Turner Classic Movies.
No, I was Hanna-Barbera.
You
Jabberjaw. Jabberjaw. What you know about Jabberjaw? That's before your time.
Actually, you got me on that one. Yeah, you definitely got me on. Because that's who is the guy? Is he from Space? You got me just think about Space Ghost now.
You know what my favorite cartoon was?
Go ahead.
It was Ninja Turtles, but besides Ninja Turtles, it's very corny. It was Snagglepuss. I thought Snagglepuss was the funniest fucking character in the world. I thought he was an asshole.
It might be. It might. Oh, that was your first. Because we didn't get a lot of assholes on TV growing up.
Yeah.
Everyone was wholesome.
Snagglepuss was an asshole. And when some shit would go down, he'd be like, "Heavens and Murgatroyds, exit stage left," and he'd just dip and leave the people there to be whatever bad shit was happening. He'd just leave them. The best.
You sound like Don Juan and Snagglepuss at the same time. Please whisper more. Whatever that impression was, that was spot on. No, I'm saying like that was spot on. Use that more.
And
please,
by the way, Snagglepuss was a lion. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at him. He was a pink lion who had a collar.
A collar and cufflinks. And cufflinks.
Snagglepuss was a Kappa, by the way.
That's my guy. Exactly. Yes. That's the name of the episode. Snagglepuss was a Kappa. He absolutely was a Kappa. He even shimmied when he would exit.
That's made me choke. That's made me choke. He said, "Oh, they choosing me." What did they say? Oh, she would Snagglepuss now. That's what he said.
That's right. I'm glad you got it.
Oh, that made my night. Okay, please.
So then,
Yogi Bear, hey boo boo.
Yogi was corny to me, but Snagglepuss came on. I had to watch Yogi because Snagglepuss would come on on the Yogi Bear show on one of the other little things that they would show.
Yeah, like it's telling me the Hanna-Barbera shows. It just reminded me of Hey Boo Boo. That's not a bad. Oh man, what was his other phrase?
Who, Yogi?
No, Snagglepuss. He said exit stage left, and what else did he say?
He says, "Heavens to Murgatroyds." That's what he says. That's what you looked up? That's what he said.
You did it so good. Your voice is so good. Okay. Thank you for that. Wow. Okay, so you were a Hanna-Barbera kid, which is a lie because you were watching reruns, but okay.
Yeah.
And I was all three. Oh, and I used to sneak and watch Adult Swim, and I didn't understand a thing.
See, there was no Adult Swim when I was a kid.
It didn't make this is teen years, but like it made no sense to me. I was like,
well, I think the first Adult Swim show might have been.
You was there.
Space Ghost.
You were there for their launch.
No, I think it might have been Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Yeah, that was the first one.
You were clocking into your first job. You were like working in.
Well, I knew Space Ghost as a superhero, and then next thing I know, he's doing late night television shows. I was like, what the hell is this?
That's the joke. That's the joke. That's hilarious.
Space Ghost is a superhero.
Before the show.
And he was mad serious.
And he's an awkward ass. I love Space Ghost Coast to Coast. Now,
Yeah,
that's
and
fun.
and
that and Eric Andre are up there for best talk show host.
yeah, Space Ghost Coast to Coast is
That
fantastic.
Eric Andre and Jennifer Hudson, top 3 talk shows we've ever seen on the. We won't see anything like the 3 of those.
And Zorak and the other people on the show, Brock, they are
they
are his villains.
My favorite.
They were his
The
villains.
And they would. I have to watch it again now with an appreciation for that. That is amazing. Wow.
So that's what's so funny, because a lot of people grew up on Space Ghost Coast to Coast. So they put the, like, in the comic book. I've been reading, like, looking at comic book YouTube and stuff and Twitter. And so when they brought the comic book back, the comic book was not at all Space Ghost Coast to Coast. It was like serious Space Ghost. And so people who grew up on Space Ghost Coast to Coast were reading. It was like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is he so serious? Like, what is this?
Chicken or the egg? No, so that's like Dr. Doom having a woodworking YouTube, where he's just in a garage somewhere, like, all right, guys, so the way that I enjoy cedar wood is that you have to prime it first. Like, that's
yes, very much so.
Amazing. Okay.
So then
wait, who would have which superhero would have, or heroine would have, a fishing show?
That's easy. Wolverine.
Okay, who I think we agree Storm would have like a Weather Channel show. Who would host something on HGTV?
No, Storm would not have a Weather Channel show. Storm would have a YouTube channel doing try-ons, and it'd be the best YouTube channel of all time.
That's true. She would get like all the nice clothes. But wait, who would do HGTV?
HGTV has a ton of shows.
No, I'm saying what superhero would have like an HGTV show? And I think it would be Captain America. That's my vote now.
No.
Captain America would have the show where it's like a mother of 5 gets her basement redone for free. That's what.
Not Captain America. John Walker.
Who's that?
U.S. agent.
Okay, who would host America's Funniest Home Videos? I think Bucky.
Iron Man.
That would be his retirement job?
Yeah, he's the jokester. Or Thor.
Okay.
If you're talking about the MCU.
Thor. No, Thor would like be the host of Wheel of Fortune.
No, don't disrespect Thor like that. Called him Pat
Wheel of Fortune is great. And then the last thing, who would host Price is Right?
That's who you should be canceling. Pat Sajak.
Yeah, fuck him. I don't care if you tell me
he's
cancel
terrible.
Or cancel him. That don't hurt my feelings. Okay, the last thing, who would be on Dancing with the Stars? That would be Iron Man, but only as Tony Stark. Like, I only see it's Robert Downey Jr. playing Tony Stark, playing Iron Man, playing Kirk Lazarus. That's the only way I would want to see it.
Smart Hulk.
Okay, thank you. This is great. And then I see oh my god, and then what's Black Captain America's name? Falcon. Winter
Sam
Falcon.
Wilson.
His name is not the Winter Falcon. It's just a Falcon, right?
No, his name's Captain America. See, do y'all see the racism?
Now it's Captain America.
He can't even call him Captain America because he's black.
I haven't caught up yet. I didn't see the crowning. I didn't see the so Sam Wilson, he would be on Ready to Love. Have you seen that?
No, he would be on. Sam Wilson.
Before you move past my joke, do you know what Ready to Love is?
Yeah, I know what that stupid ass show is. Okay, it's got that bald dude with the glasses.
He would be the Black Bachelor.
I forget his name. No, Sam Wilson. Sam Wilson would be leading a gang, and he would be a rapper who never lost a rap battle, even though he never saw him rap until he loses to a white boy because he grew up in the wrong. Yes, because he went to Cranbrook. Exactly.
That's bravo.
That's exactly who he would be.
Bravo.
Except he's from New Orleans. So then they go to prison, and Magneto's in prison, and they even have the Magneto cell to put him in, like they did with the X-Men movies. And Black Noir's in there fanboying, talking about how much he loves his movies and shit, and you're my favorite actor growing up.
Holes in his movies. Hilarious.
And Magneto's like, oh, all right then. And then Sage tells him to get the fuck out of here.
He's like, I just got the check. Do you understand? I didn't write the movie. But he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I hear you.
Sage tells him to get the fuck out of here. Sage comes in and is like, you much stronger than you give credit for. You don't got that twitch no more. Your hand is steady. She fixed you.
Yeah, she sees him like it's like that.
And she's like, it's nothing more dangerous than a man with nothing to lose. You finna die, but today not the day you die. And she's like, what about your wife dying of cancer? Your son dying of Elmira? She's like, why are you talking about my family? And she's like, I'm just saying, you ain't got nothing to live for. So I'm gonna be out. You take care. And she walks and she closes the door but leaves it cracked. And the Magnegro walks up and is like, she let this door crack. She want me, is this a trick? Like, what's going on here? So he waits, if he don't just leave, he waits a few minutes to make sure it ain't no trap. And then he leaves.
Yeah, and also, so the two things I took away from there is like, this is her, she's smart as hell. And she's like, all right, I know all the players on the board. The only way that they actually can take down Cipher is if Cipher/Godolkin is if they have somebody who can disrupt his control powers. And so she puts him back on the board by letting him out. But she also has that very revealing thing where she asks him, she asks about his family that's died. And I think it's her way of being like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna continue to walk this life without a companion, because I finally met a man who's as smart as me. And he ends up being petty. He lets like his whatever his bloodlust get, or his manifest destiny get in the way of him having it. Like, he has to do this thing and he won't just live. So she's kind of like, in a way, she triggers him by bringing up his wife and son, but she's really saying like, damn, I guess I'll never have that, something bigger to live for. And then she lets him out. So she's a low key, that's an alley-oop right there, because whole thing's going different.
So you think she's a baby face?
What that mean?
A good person. That's a wrestling term for a good guy.
Oh, no. I think Sister Sage, like you always say, oh, she's just smart. I actually think she's villainous as fuck. Because I don't think her plan, she's literally what you talked about in the very beginning of the episode. She's who Dr. Doom would talk about. Sister Sage could make sure everyone is literate and everyone could eat. But instead, Sister Sage,
but she did do that. That's her backstory. Her backstory is that she came up with an idea to cure cancer back home in Detroit, and everybody dismissed her
at Caramanos
as this dumb black girl. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no, we're not listening to your bullshit. And at that point, she was like, fuck it, I'm not doing that shit no more.
So my point though is to say, with that in mind, like, I see her plan not necessarily being a plan to stop Homelander and save the world from his tyranny. I think her plan is something more sinister than that. So she's literally on the edge of just being a straight up villain for me, but I could be wrong.
I have a soft spot for Sister
like
Sage.
You said, because of what you said, I'll put aside my idea of like, okay, like she's in the 92%. She should be a part of like, New World Order or whatever. Like, I actually don't think that. I think she's just doing what, like, to her is the most interesting, intriguing thing. So, which with that said, the way they write Sister Sage feels more natural. I don't know why. Maybe I'm also biased to her, but
because she's from Detroit. Clearly, you're biased. So
you know what? And also, one of the podcasts I enjoy watching, they were talking about how gorgeous Jazz Sinclair is, and she is. And so maybe now I'm just mad at Marie Moreau for being fine. Maybe I'm just mad at her because she's cute. Maybe that's why I'm mad. Maybe that's why I'm hating. She's cute and she speaks proper English. I can't stand her.
Yeah, but Sister Sage is too, and you're not hating on her.
I know. I
got a soft spot for Sister Sage.
I know that's your type.
It's the eyes. The way they look at you. What's that song? I forget the song. They talk about the eyes. It's a song that talks about eyes by a black person. Don't remember the black person. He goes back to class. Everybody's fucked up in there. Butt portal guy comes in there with a new group of people. And Cate controls Vance to let somebody else come in. So then the door opens back up and it's Marie. And Professor G is mad. Like, you early. Come back in an hour or two. Marie was like, look, you let everybody go, I won't fucking kill you. And G was like, I used to think it was stupid that you used your hands. But I get it. It's so much cooler to use his hands. And he turns around and does a thing with his hands so that all the people start attacking Marie. Marie starts fucking him up. But then she starts to get a little bit. She grabs Black Hole with her blood and makes him open up his portal, and then everybody comes out of his
Portal
ass.
is such a fun. That's how I want people to talk about vaginas from now on. She opened up her portal.
You want them to call it a black hole? I don't think they should want them to call it
a portal.
Oh,
no,
portal.
you said portal.
Okay.
That's what I like. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And so then everybody comes out his ass. Cate, Jordan, Greg, Sam, Harper, and I think the other girl name was Allie. Yeah, and Allie. They all come out and they start fighting and have a big ass fight. And basically, Emma grows big on her own and knocks out Godolkin because she got confidence now.
I was proud of her. My girl did it. She got big and little on her own. I don't even know. Maybe the little was just like a reaction to getting big, but like you said, she got up and she stumped him. And I was like, that could have been it. That could have been there. She could have crip walked on him. She could have did a heel toe.
Yeah, but she needs some Mr. Fantastic clothes, so she don't gotta get naked every time.
Yeah, she
get
exactly. Yeah, she can't control it that good.
So then, Allie ties up Godolkin with her pubes, and then Harper comes over there and takes his power, and she's like, "Oh shit!"
Everyone has a role in the revolution.
I'm controlling people, and they're like, "We only got 60 seconds before you get spec. Normals get everybody the fuck up out of there." So all the students leave, and it's just Marie and her crew. And Marie comes up talking shit like a hero would do. I beat you. Even the weakest of us had a part in it.
Yeah, we did it. Even the ones you wanted to thin the herd thinned you.
And he starts lifting her up in the air, and then he takes over her while he's doing that. And he makes Marie get all this. Yeah,
because you think, mind you, you think it's a moment. You think she's won. Because you can hear the blood rushing, like the sound we hear when she's like working on somebody, like the blood's like, like you hear it going. You're like, oh, she about to get him. And then he's like, it's like, damn, what's a good example? It's like when Green Goblin takes over. It's just like it goes from one frame to the next. Boom.
Very much. That's a good analogy. Look at you. That's the second good one today.
Why are you so surprised?
Because they're comic book references.
You keep acting like any reference I make is a movie reference. So I can only speak to times when the comic book is true to the movie is true to the comic book. I apologize for getting you excited. I'm talking about Tom Holland Spider-Man right now. I'm not talking about anything you talk about. There was a moment when because you know how somehow I know they're trying to act like it's metaverse, not metaverse. Oh my god, multiverse. But how does Tom Holland have the same Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus, I know that's not his name, as Toby did? Or am I smoking crack?
No, they went back. They went to a different universe.
Right, and they're the same people in that universe?
No,
did Andrew Garfield have the same ones?
No. They went into Toby. They pulled him from Tobey Maguire's universe. In Spider-Man Far Away From Home, whatever the fuck it's called.
The last one.
Yes.
No, but I'm saying like there's a movie, there's a scene I don't remember from Spider-Man No Way Home that I think, oh, maybe I'm tripping. Because you know what's so funny? I actually did I see the... Oh yeah, it's the Andrew.
I'm pretty sure Norman Osborn's black in our universe.
Norman Osborn is literally William DeFriend in both of them.
Yeah, but
DeFriend. That's what we call him. Black people call him William DeFriend.
Norman Osborn black in our universe.
You didn't know we call him William DeFriend? Mm-mm. You thought I just confused his name that bad? I guess I did confuse names. Willem DeFriend. It would surprise you. It shouldn't. You're right. Okay, what's this? What you pulled up now? Okay, Captain. Okay, is Ernie Hudson your version of Green Goblin in Earth 616?
No, it didn't show up. But he black, basically. He got waves and all that. They used to make fun of him back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, they used to say he was black. Or at least mixed.
Oh, in the comics.
No, in the cartoon.
In the cartoon. Oh, yeah. Tyreek Withers is going to tear that up when it's time.
because this
Call my
what
boy.
he looks like with the waves.
Call my boy. That's the waves being Kelly Rowland and Fire Engine Red are killing me.
So
And
then
having tiger
on
stripes in his hair, I did not see that coming.
so then on the new Marvel show, the new Marvel Disney Plus show, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, they made him black. This is the new version. This is the new show that came out
Wow.
last year. So this him now.
Oh, that's what I see when I Google it. On Reddit,
right.
on Reddit r/Marvel Circle Jerk, someone says, Norman Osborn is black? Why is everything so woke?
See,
That's
it
that
is
shit that
woke.
piss me off. People piss me off.
I
Black
mean, you
people exist, guys.
just went on a tangent about Marie
No, I
being
did
woke.
not. We're not gonna do this.
You said
So anyway, Marie
was not a black character. It was a white character that they cast a black person as. That's woke.
Marie is lifting up Bach. Marie is lifting up Bach. And well, it's not woke if they don't change the writing. Marie is lifting up Bach, and we think, oh, she got it. It's the final moment. She has her speech, and then he turns around and he says, "Do you know what's necessary for evolution?" And then simultaneously they answer together, "Pressure." And she's like hype, so you know he's controlling her because she's like relishing it. And she started doing him. She's giving his speech, and she's like, they're like, oh, Annabeth, actually, you do need to get the fuck up out of here, Annabeth. She about to fuck you up. Like, we gotta go. You the weakest one in the bunch. The rest of us have been battle trained. We've been in the octagon before. You guys to go. And she's controlled by Bach/Cipher/ Godolkin, because he goes, actually, you're the worst precog I ever met. Your ass got to go. I'm thinning you first. So he goes off on Annabeth because her predictions don't even be correct. But there's only one that she didn't get correct, and it's the one where she would have died in this battle.
Speaking of characters that are ambiguous in race, look at that man right there, Chanel. Look at that.
Look like my ex.
That's Lex Luthor in the Justice League cartoon.
And I could see him being black.
They never said he was black. There's a big debate in the nerd community. Is he black? He looked black to me.
He definitely black. I mean, he's black just in the nose.
He looked black
black
to me.
Nose, black lips, black nose, black forehead crease.
But it's a debate.
Black men be doing it when they watching their kids.
Right when Marie was about to whoop everybody's ass, Magneto comes in and does an EMP to break the connection. And then he starts throwing shit at Godolkin and talking shit like he gonna stop him. And then Marie gets up and he's over in the corner and Marie just busts his head like Victoria Newman. He did.
And I was just like, damn, I wonder if I'm sure nobody would, but I'm like, I wonder if anyone will put two and two together. Like, wait a minute, I seen somebody do that before on C-SPAN. I've seen somebody head get bust open just like that on C-SPAN. What is that reminding me of? Nobody's gonna put it two and two together right there. This is when I start fist pumping. The rest of this episode, I was cheering. I was so excited.
They leave and they like, we stand here. And Magneto's like, no, the fuck you not. This is stupid. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all gotta go. They coming for y'all. Leave.
Yeah, he said he has a great moment where he goes, she's like, we can't separate. We've come too far. It's like, I'm glad y'all learned life lessons and shit. Get the fuck up off this campus, y'all. Y'all about to die.
That's when Emma stays back to say, this is a suicide mission. Like, you finna die.
Like, you trying to die.
And Magneto was like, look, man, you saved me. Like, I was doing nothing. I thought I had nothing to live for.
At first, yeah.
And now I do. Now I got a purpose. And I'm going to serve this purpose. So you get up out of here. And they hug.
And he says that Andre's still alive on campus as long as he's here. And that's probably true. Like, that's where they had most of their moments together because he was living there in the last couple of years. So I can and like his house probably don't feel like a home no more. So I get it.
So they hug and Emma leaves.
Not to mention, by the way, if they don't install him next as Dean, what are we doing?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what will happen. Maybe.
Alum,
save face. Vought's all about saving space. Yeah, so then they drive and they stop because they got to piss. And Marie goes up to Annabeth and was
No,
like,
and
look.
also they have to pee, but they're looking. You can tell they're trying to find Stan Edgar's like bunker, but nobody remembers where. Nobody like
Oh,
left
yeah.
a trail of breadcrumbs to figure out like where they're at. So they're driving and they pull over because they're like, we haven't found it yet. Let's stop. Jordan switches gender so that he can pee, which is funny. Mind you, don't get me wrong. I would have peed too. If I had to pee, I'm peeing. We're gonna find some leaves. We're gonna make this work. I'm not about to hold it all day because y'all.
Well, you know, Jordan wanted to make it easier.
No,
So
I'm saying
then-
if I'm one of the girls and I have to pee,
Oh yeah, they was
I'm gonna
talking
be-
shit like that's not fair to Jordan.
yeah, exactly.
And so then the light start. Oh
little
no,
light
then he goes
figure.
up to Annabeth and says, "Hey, you want to leave?
Oh yeah.
Like, don't nobody know who the fuck you are. So if you want me to take you back
Yeah.
with Pam, you be fine. Nobody's coming after you. They don't know who the fuck you are. Since Cipher's dead." And she's like, "No, I'm staying here with you. You're my sister." They hug. And then the lights start flickering. And Annabeth was like, "She's here." And then Starlight shows up. And Starlight,
This is the most annoying thing that's ever been said. Emma's like, "Oh, Starlight," and Marie goes, "She prefers Annie." Go act like that's your best friend, bitch. I ain't seen Starlight this whole. She came once for one cameo. Don't act like you know her better than me. That would have made me mad as a friend. We would have to talk about that later at night and be like, "Hey, so why would you try to embarrass me in front of everybody when Starlight showed up?"
and Starlight was like, "Look, I'm proud of y'all. I fell for the Sage's bullshit, but I'm glad y'all saved the day, basically. Why don't y'all
She
come?"
did that just to close any type of plot hole feedback. By the way, mind you, like she's like, okay, hey, before this goes into season 5 of The Boys, just want to let you guys know I'm aware that Sage was tricking me. Got it. Good. Moving on.
Why don't y'all come join us? And Emma was like, "We got our
Join the
own crew."
resistance.
And
She's
then-
like, join the resistance. And Emma's like, we are kind of our own resistance, but I guess we could do our, like, my friends can meet your friends and we can be friends.
And they said, "How could you find us?" And it was like, "Well, we just checked 200 square miles around
Like, it's
Godolkin.
not
We
hard.
did it in about
She's
30
like,
minutes."
y'all
was like,
have
30
no
minutes.
counterintelligence
They-
training.
They're not fast enough to do that shit. And then A-Train shows up, who could do that in 30 minutes. And he's like, "Look, first things first, y'all can't be standing out here like some suckers out in the open. But we about to do this thing." And then that's the end. So we transition
When
into the
A-Train
boys.
came, I almost did a backflip. That made me so happy because we know that A-Train's been doing his thing, but like this is true, real confirmation. We're going to season 5 with A-Train fully on the team and he's doing her thing. Because I think A-Train right now is the only one in Vought still who's like actively resisting.
Yes.
Yeah, like he's like fully double agenting, which is significant for his story arc because he was the biggest asshole in the world when we first started. So seeing him, Jesse T. Usher got me hype. Speaking of what we was on, one of the weekends past, I tried to start watching Independence Day 2, and I was just like, look at Jesse T. Usher being a military man. He's so cute. So shout out to him. That's Bay. Now Bay is younger than Zaddy. So you have Bay age, which is my age. So Jesse Usher is Bay, and then you have Zaddy, which is like, you know, hey, honestly, if you trying to mess with a young mommy, I'm here. And then you have whatever you want to call Ron Isley. So I don't even have a name for him yet because I've never thought
Zaddy.
about one. That's not. I keep telling you. You keep mansplaining to me, and I'm trying to tell you what Black women culture, and you won't listen. Ask your partner if Ron Isley is Zaddy, or show her a Method Man and show her Ron Isley and ask her which one's Zaddy. And you tell me what she says.
Method Man is like my age. He's not Zaddy.
Method Man is, oh my God, I'm explaining it to you. You're not listening.
I'm listening.
You're mansplaining Zaddy back to me. I'm telling you, Method Man
That's
is Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Ron, that is.
He even got the gold chain with the cane.
That's a
That is
single.
Zaddy.
That's rich grandpa. That is somebody's rich grandfather.
Do you see his cane?
That is Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's what he is. That's how I would describe him. I'm not trying to under beneath the sheets, nothing with him. Personally. Not my age. He's out of my age range. He's out of my bracket.
Urban Dictionary says Zaddy is a guy who's older than you but sexy as fuck. Ron Isley. There you go.
Okay, so Ron Isley is Zaddy to you. But to the rest of us, I see a man that old and I think, oh, you ran somebody's grandma into the ground. You
They
ruined
saying
somebody's
Pedro
life. Yeah.
Pascal is his zaddy.
I'm trying to explain it to you, and you think I don't speak the language. I am coming here as a purveyor of culture to teach you something. You don't listen. You don't listen.
Pedro Pascal, he feel like he's too young to be that.
Because you won't hear me when I tell
I'm
you
listening.
it goes up to 50 something, and then you get into something else, which I haven't even, again, there's no name for it. You get into like Silver Fox, I guess, but like Ron Isley is older than that.
Yeah, he 84.
That's what I'm saying. So whatever, and I still don't think Ernie Hudson and Ron Isley is a very thin line. I guess it's at 80.
Ernie Hudson's 79, so he ain't 80 yet.
That's what I'm saying. The line must be at 80. Like Ron Isley was recently in Detroit for this Black Film Fest event. Shout out to them. It was like
what about The Rock?
Black Spirits. What is he like? 52?
53.
I've already told you where he goes, bro. So Ron Isley was here at an event and he was doing a meet and greet and like he was sitting the whole time. And I was like, it's probably because he has trouble standing for a long time. Like, bro, like that's an old ass man. Respectfully, he's one of the greats.
That didn't sound respectful.
Don't get me started. All right. So anyway, yeah. So that's how the season ended. We're excited for the last season of The Boys. As soon as that went off and 9 Inch Nails came on, I was like, okay, so can The Boys season 5 start right after this? Like, why is there a gap?
By the way, you know Ron Isley had a #1 hit, Billboard's #1 in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
In all the formats. He had that shit on radio. He had that shit on 8-track. He had that shit on cassette tape. He had that on the iPod Nano.
No, he didn't have it on streaming.
And he gonna have it on Neuralink.
Neuralink? Oh, he's gonna be AI, Ron Isley.
Anyway, yeah, I'm scared about Neuralink, but yeah. So shout out to Ron Isley again, handsome man, but someone's grandpa. Not my type.
It looked like his wife is like your age.
And that's why I said not my type. Now, any of the other men we've named, from Jesse T. Usher to Rick Fox, want to call me, I'm available. But past Rick Fox, it's quiet. Mind you, also, I have a young father. My dad was like in his mid-20s when he had me, so that changes a lot for me. So older men, I'm like, ugh. Whereas if you have an older dad, you might like, that might not be that weird for you. But my dad still, we look like we could be siblings to each other, let alone like people I thought were dating, and which is disgusting. But like we are that. My dad is young looking, so it's like I don't really, it's like an older man to me is just like too old.
No, I agree. I was just trying to understand
now,
what the line is.
Would
I wasn't trying to show Lex Luthor. Why I keep showing Lex Luthor?
I keep forgetting which way, because the fact that this is the screen is crazy. Captain America would be, Captain Planet would be a Mary, Lex Luthor would be a fuck, and Kill would be Norman Osborn. That's exactly.
You would marry. Why does it keep showing that? Oh, you would marry Captain Planet?
No, he just seemed like a nice, boring guy. Who doesn't want to marry a climate activist?
That sounds like
that's a good, stable guy. He got a job. He cares about. He's gonna recycle.
Okay.
He's gonna do laundry the right way. Are you joking?
Okay, that's fair.
It's glitching because it's telling us to get the fuck up out of here. That's what's happening.
All right, look, that's his wife.
She's younger than me, let alone my age.
That's what I said.
And look, and she's rich and bountiful, and I hope.
And look at him. You tell me he don't look like one of them? Look at him. If I didn't tell you he was 84, you think he's 60.
No. Thank you guys so much for being here. The We Was Watching podcast is a show with a blurred and aspiring baddie, and we love recapping TV film that is in the superhero, fantasy, sci-fi, fiction, whatever the fuck genre. And then we like to talk about the politics in between. This has been a super fun episode on a night when I should have been asleep an hour ago, but I had so much fun. We talked about every literal thing. Like I couldn't even tell you how many things we touched on this episode. So if you've made it this far, then you're a real one. We thank you for sharing the show, liking it, subscribing it. I just checked recently. We have like 300 something followers on Spotify. We have like 350 something subscribers on YouTube. Whichever one makes it to 500 first, we're going to lock in. Okay. So if you care that much about the audio format, tell your friends, click that button. And if you would care about this video and are tired of seeing me eat on stream, then you need to lock in and get our subscribers up to 500 here. Either way, we're trying to grow the show. We're having a lot of fun though. Thank you guys. Gen V was a great season. We are currently doing the Chair Company, which is a wild ass ride. No, I have no idea what's going to happen in the next episode. Soon we will give you Chief of War, which we mentioned years ago. And finally, Weapons is on streaming, so I'll be expecting Brandon to have given me his recap on Weapons in the next couple of weeks. Outside of that,
no, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me that was a horror movie.
I don't want to hear all these excuses.
I'm scared of horror movies.
I'm telling you, you need to watch this movie, so I don't want to hear it. And so we have stuff to look forward to.
I ain't make you watch The Last of Us. Yeah, see?
I have a phobia about the whole I can do it. I just got to look away. I can watch, but I just have to look away. You don't have to look away from Weapons. Weapons won't scare. I'm telling you, as someone who's seen it, you'll be all right. But I will tell you one last thing, which is that to this day, every ad I see for Pluribus, nothing about it entices me. But I do think that it's one of those shows that they're hyping it up so much it has to be good. So I will give Pluribus a try, but nothing about the advertising is appealing to me. And I'm just going to say that. That's just an advertising note. It's not about the show.
I know. I think the advertising, it doesn't tell you anything about the show.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's very weird.
But I'm like, but it'll be interesting. And then it made me think about, E pluribus unum, which is like one happiness, universal happiness, whatever the fuck is on the dollar, the Latin, like Illuminati shit. And I think that's where the name came from. So I was like, okay, respect. Somebody did social studies. Somebody did the social, they say do the math. Somebody did the social studies. Okay, we got to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Let us know if you prefer for us to do 2 streams a week, or if you like a video where you can watch it later. Listen to us on the podcast. We do check the comments, and we love you guys. Bye-bye.